Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report with Mitchell Renz here from Chat Sports. And coming up on today's show, 5 players that deserve more playing time against the Chargers. Now it's time for McDaniels. It's time for this entire team to focus. And maybe they need to go out and try some nootropics from Panda Sups. Use code FOCUS for 25% off at pandasups.com. That link's going to be available for you guys down in the comments and in the description of today's show. So the Raiders have a tough matchup against an AFC West rival. I get it. Both teams are 1-2, but they are the underdog. And I will say this is going to be a home game for the Silver and Black, which we desperately need right now, being in Inglewood, California at SoFi Stadium. But the one thing that I continue to say is there are certain players on this team that they need more reps. And the Raiders right now, after losing 2 straight games, you got to switch it up a little bit. And if certain players aren't playing as well, McDaniels, Patrick Graham, whoever, put them on the bench. It's okay. Just because this was the plan doesn't mean you got to stick to it. Sometimes you got to deviate from the plan, and there's other players that deserve more opportunities. So you know the song, "Put Me In, Coach. I'm ready to play." Put in Hunter Renfrow more. I need to see more reps from number 13. If you're going to pay him all that money, put him out there on the field. Let him run his routes. Let him play a little backyard football. Just because McDaniels has to be so like, oh, you got to do exactly this, doesn't mean it always works. It hasn't worked. So let's get Renfro some more opportunities. Get him out there in space. Let him do his thing. Because this season he's played in 76 snaps on offense. That's about 33% of the offensive snaps. He's been targeted 3 times, has 3 catches for 40 yards and 2 first downs. I do think that it's going to be Aidan O'Connell out there. If it's Brian Hoyer, I'm going to be one upset dude. But to me, Renfro can be that good safety blanket. And when you have a quarterback that's inexperienced, I don't care how many years Brian Hoyer's in the league. He doesn't have actual gameplay experience. And if it's the rookie, like it better be, he also obviously doesn't have gameplay experience. So you get a receiver like Hunter Renfro, you line him up in the slot, you tell him to do simple routes, and that way Aidan knows that that's your check down guy, or that's the guy that I can rely on in case things get ugly. You need Hunter Renfrow out there. The Raiders need Hunter Renfrow out there. Raider Nation needs Renfrow out there. He deserves more playing time. Now, I still got 4 more dudes that deserve more playing time, but remember, Jeremy Chuggs and I, we're going to be live 3 p.m. Eastern time here on the Raiders Report. So make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you got those notifications turned on. And if you do plan on watching this show, take that link down below. Send it to some other Raider fans, because the bigger this party gets, the more crazy that the Raiders Report can get, and we need a just win, baby. Let's go to the next player that deserves more playing time. It's Tre Tucker. You got to get Tre Tucker involved more. And Chugs just said in my ear, 2 wide receivers? Yeah, guess why? Because this offense stinks right now, and you need to figure out a way to jumpstart it. I want the Raiders to design more plays for Hunter Renfrow. I just want Tre Tucker to be on the field as a decoy. And sure, he might get a rushing attempt, which honestly, he deserves another carry. He deserves a few deep shots his way. But the most important thing that I want to see the Raiders use Tre Tucker for, use his speed, use his acceleration, use him a little bit more in pre-snap motion. Because if you do have that young, inexperienced quarterback out there, and Tre Tucker's running left and right, that's going to help him figure out, all right, is the defense running zone? Or they end up running man? Is that linebacker going to follow him? Like, it tells you so many different things pre-snap motion. He's played in only 21 snaps this season, which is 12%. And the 2 times that Tre Tucker has been targeted, one was a carry, which went for 34 yards, and guess what? The Raiders scored a touchdown on that drive. The other time that he was targeted was a deep ball down the sidelines, and if you remember, he caught it, but he was out of bounds. But it was a phenomenal catch by Tucker. Garoppolo needs to put a better ball on him, but to me, I have seen the ball go towards Tre Tucker twice. One time went for 34, and it was very good. The other time, it should have been pass interference. That's what it was. Should have been pass interference. Get the ball in your playmaker's hands, or get some more speed out there, because what you're doing right now, it's not working. You need to switch it up here a little bit. So this is going to be the pinned comment on today's show. So you're about to get hit with a YouTube ad break, and I want to know a player that deserves more playing time this week against the Chargers. While that ad is playing, tell me who you think that player needs to be. And if you could do me a big favor, let the ad play all the way out. Helps out Jeremy and I a lot. So you're about to get it with a YouTube ad break. Let me know a player that deserves more playing time this week. All right, let's go to the next name here on the list. Let's go to the defensive side of the football, Malcolm Koonce. And when I say I want Malcolm Koonce on the field more, I think it depends on the situation. And I get it, you're not always going to be able to predict whether or not the team is going to pass or run. But to me, if we have all these gurus, which remember, I've been told that we have gurus all over the place, our coaching staff, we need to figure out a way to get Malcolm Koonce in those pass rushing situations. He's played in a nice amount of snaps on defense so far this season. And right now, as it stands, okay, he hasn't played in as many, I believe it's like minimum 35 pass rush attempts, but he has a 21.9% win rate. For comparison, Max Crosby's win rate right now is 21.2. I'm not saying that Koonce is playing better than Crosby, but when Koonce has been out there, he has been effective. So to me, even though he's bad against the run, the Raiders need to create pressure. And when your linebackers have played as well as they have, which they have, right? We got to give some credit to Robert Spillane. You got to give some credit to Divine Diablo out there. I'm okay with the Raiders sacrificing their run defense because even when the DTs are out there, they're not doing much of anything. So why not put Malcolm Koonce opposite side of Max Crosby, or let's get really wild, put Max Crosby and Malcolm Koonce on the same side of the field and let them try to get after the quarterback. I need pressure. And if you don't pressure Justin Herbert, you're going to continue to lose. You're not going to force turnovers. Let's get Malcolm Koonce some reps. Now, again, today's show is presented by Panda Sups. I freaking love these guys, man. They've been supporting this show for a long time. My guy Murbad is a diehard Raider fan, and this is the product that I want y'all to try out because I'm sure not a lot of y'all have heard about it. But once you try it, you're going to say, wow, how have I not heard about this before? They're called Nootropics, okay? And they are the most versatile brain fuel product out right now. Designed for anyone looking to increase their focus, productivity, energy, mood, and vision, Panda Focus can be used as an energy drink replacement, coffee, or to spark a motivation. Panda Focus enables you to unlock your full potential and give you a competitive advantage no matter if you're a professional athlete, maybe a gamer, CEO of a company, hell, a student. I really, truly wish that I knew about nootropics or had nootropics when I was in college or in high school because shit, I don't even know what school I would have been able to go to. So here's what I need you to do. Harvard's a little bit of a push. I can probably go to the Harvard of Arkansas. Use code FOCUS for 25% off at pandasups.com. It's going to be down in the comments. It's going to be down in the description. If you need something to lock in and focus, especially when you have that crash at around 2 or 3, hell, Jeremy's yawning right now. I'm going to have to get him some focus from Panda Subs. Let's go to the next player here that they deserve to put me in, coach. Nesta Jade Silvera. Can we get this guy some snaps? Can he just be active? Like, how can the Raiders, and this is what drives me nuts about this team, how can you say that we're building for the future, but you don't put your future in? I don't know if Nesta Jade Silvera is going to be a good defensive tackle, but I know this. He's got a lot longer of a future with the silver and black than somebody like John Jenkins does. Because, yes, Jenkins has played well, but you know what? I want to see what the young guy has, especially because he played well in the preseason. He looked solid during minicamp, OTAs, like training camp. And he's been a healthy scratch for 3 weeks in a row. You traded away Neil Farrell Jr. You cut Matthew Butler. We do not have any young defensive tackles on this roster. He's the best run stopper I think that this team has right now at defensive tackle. And yet, he's nowhere to be found. You have nothing to lose by playing him. Your DT room is the worst DT room in the National Football League. What do you have to lose? Put him out there. Let's see what he's got. Worst case scenario, you have an extra defensive tackle, an extra body, an extra person who's going to be, I don't know, able to just give it their go all the time. I want guys that have motor because if you don't have talent, you need to have the stamina. And Jerry Tillery's been bad. Byron Young's been really bad. Yeah, John Jenkins, Adam Butler have probably been the top 2 defensive tackles. Bilal Nichols has been battling a little bit of a hamstring hand injury. So why not? Put out the rookie. Let's see what he's got to work with. And then the final player is this. It is Aidan O'Connell. He needs to play this week. I don't care if Jimmy Garoppolo is healthy. I don't care that Brian Hoyer is listed as the QB2. I've been saying it for weeks, months, and what's crazy is, you bring in a QB like Jimmy Garoppolo, and we've had this conversation so many times on the Raiders Report because it was a matter of when, not if, Jimmy Garoppolo missing a game, when he gets injured. And yes, he's dealing with a concussion. It's a totally, totally different style of injury. But guess what? We knew sooner or later Jimmy G wasn't going to be able to go, and I said that it's not going to be Brian Hoyer. It's going to end up being Aidan O'Connell, and it better be Aidan O'Connell because if it's Brian Hoyer, the nation is going to riot. I mean, that's just it. Right now, Jimmy G, bad. Brian Hoyer, bad. O'Connell, he passed the eye test during the preseason. You need to give this fan base a reason to hope. But not only that, when you hear things like what Davante Adams said after their loss on Sunday, when you see the thing that he just posted on his Instagram, and again, like Davante Adams is a guy that you got to keep happy. And to me, defenses do not respect you because your quarterback play is pathetic. I don't know what I'm going to get out of Aidan O'Connell. I have no idea. But I do think he's going to open up the entire offense. And he might not be ready to play compared to the way Jimmy Garoppolo is ready to play. But from an arm talent standpoint, Aidan O'Connell is the more talented quarterback. He is. And because of that, it's going to open up the running game. And if you can get the running game going, if you told me right now I get Josh Jacobs back, the Jacobs I had last season in that running game, I don't know if it matters as much who you have at quarterback because you're going to be able to do a better job than what you are doing now. And that's what Aidan O'Connell is going to do. On top of that, the quarterback class is so deep next year. We got to see what we have in this kid now because if it's not Jimmy Garoppolo, you're really going to pass up on a potentially a Drake May, a Caleb Williams, a Penix Jr., a Quinn Ewers. I don't know who the top quarterbacks are. You're going to pass up those guys because you have Aidan? It's going to be a tough one to sell to the nation, especially if you're really, really bad this season. So here's my question. Let's say all three are healthy. All three are healthy. You get to pick a starter. McDaniels and Ziegler are like, obviously, I have no idea what I'm doing. You get to pick the QB. Jimmy Garoppolo, Brian Hoyer, Aidan O'Connell. No? Hell no. AOC. That's the correct answer. So one more time here, 5 players who deserve more playing time against the Los Angeles Chargers. 2 receivers in Hunter Renfro and Trey Tucker. Got to change something offensively. Malcolm Koonce, Nesta Jade Silvera. Got to change something on the defensive line. And then the way that your quarterback play has been, you got to change that too. So let's give Aidan O'Connell a shot against the Chargers.